Alright. This so-called speed build is taking quite a bit longer than I'd even remotely planned, but anyway, we're gonna finish this. And there you have it. The Aranea, God, I would say I have a fancy name for this craft. The Aranea. But it's just too late. It's like 2 o'clock in the morning, so it blows up on my face when I try to say it. The Aranea. I built this specifically to hold the tarantula style, and, you know, off screen I did load them all, but I didn't consider that building it. And it's boring. All there's is just loading them up and docking them. So I hardly consider that part of the building process. But, you know, I'm glad I took the extra bit of time, since this is probably the best ship I've ever built. Bar none. I'm reminded of something that Rabin said in one of his videos, in one of his design school videos, about, you know, having stages of development and finding your level of detail. And I think I finally have it. I mean, it's more than just, you know, flat shapes or repeated shapes even. It's complex shapes to where this looks like an honest-to-God spaceship, and it hides the fact that it's made out of blocks very well, for the most part. Where I need it to be, look like it's made out of something other than blocks, I did. Where I didn't want it, I didn't. But like the engines, I kind of fussed with a while. And then you have this where you can dock it to a space station or whatever and bring in supplies or troops. And I even have an interior. This ship isn't a shell. I went ahead and took the extra amount of time. Took 9 hours this time. As almost the same amount of time I took with the mech, only I took it with this, with a normal spaceship, and gave it a proper interior. This is a finished craft, not a shell. In fact, it has decent shields. It has over 1 million shields, which isn't amazing for a ship its size, but it's enough to take hits. It has pretty decent thrusters, and then it has a fairly amazing jump drive. Now I get to go ahead and set plot. See, let's count off the number of seconds. 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, 3 Mississippi, 4 Mississippi, 5. It's like a 20 or 30 second jump drive. It's pretty quick though. Push. And I'm back. But I kind of, when I thought of the purpose of this craft, I thought of something that was a fairly light carrier idea, but that was long range, to where it could be sent in and shoot out fighters and stuff, or be used to supplement a fleet, but not be a massive carrier, to where it would need to be defended, because it doesn't have that. It has no weapons of any kind, and it has shields. In fact, I think the doors are more heavily armed than the actual hull, but it has, you know, it would take a few shots to get through. And I was building this in a hurry, so I just picked what I had, which was standard hull. If I really used my brain, I should have built it out of advanced and crystal armor for everything. But, you know, if all I'd have to do is set the... No, that'd be pretty difficult. But I could set the filters to replace the hull with all of that. It'd be a pain, but I could do it. Not gonna do that, probably. It's probably gonna stay the way it is. But anyway, if you liked what you saw, if you like the best speed build, which is kind of laughable with the amount of time it took, the best speed build I've ever built, hit the like button. And as always, click the nut on your way out.